Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. We have another good week of books coming. Wow, it's what a time to be collecting. There's just so much good stuff coming out right now. And geez, it's great. That's all I can say. It really is Christmas every week. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers on YouTube and followers on Instagram. You are all awesome. I say it every week and I mean it. Just the info, the tips, the questions, everything's great. So thank you so much, everybody. Not doing a comic shop shout out today just because I forgot to look one up before I started doing the video. I'll be honest with you. But I do want to remind you that Key Collector, even though Nick is a complete knob, I do like his app. And he's too cheap to pay me any money. I don't know why I promote this. I guess I like the guy. I don't know. What can I say? And it is a good app. You know, if you haven't used it, I recommend giving it a shot. You get a free 1-week trial. You get all the different options you can use in there, and it is really good. I know, because I mean, there's just so much stuff out there. It's really hard to know everything about everything. I've been reading comics a long time, and there's a lot of stuff I don't know or haven't read. So, yeah, give it a try if you haven't, and please tell Nick he's a knob if you ever talk to him. Tell him Jim told you that. He'll love that. Anyways, we'll get into, I want to cover off some of the books. I haven't, because I'm back to work and everything, I don't have time to do haul videos, but I want to cover off a few of the books I picked up this week. And one in particular, well, anyways, we'll get into in a second, but I did pick up my Blood Realm from Alternative. Finally, issue 3, it's a 3-part miniseries of volume 2 came out, so I was glad to get that. I had to pick up my Spawn 300. I only got I got the J. Scott Campbell cover, and I had to get the you know, the iconic 300. I know it's been done a million times, but it's an actual Todd McFarlane book, and he's the original artist of that cover, so I had to get that one. I did pick up my Something is Killing the Children. That is, I read it. It's a pretty good story, and not a huge print run on this, but it got talked about quite a bit the last month or so. And part of that's because of me and other people. I'm not taking all the credit for it, but anyways, it did do very well. But so there's cover A. Cover B is the lowest print out of all the covers. And I mentioned this in my last video. If you're able to get this one, I recommend getting it, because the that's a Jay Lee cover, and then the Jenny Friesen cover, everybody and their dog bought that one. So still a great cover to have and own. But this cover B is pretty confident in telling you that is the lowest print out of all the covers. I know there's a black and white one as well. I don't know what the numbers on that one is, but of those 3, that Jay Lee one is the lowest. So did pick up my Legion of Superheroes Millennium. Haven't read that one yet, actually. First book I read this week when I got home was House of X number 4. I got the regular cover A. I got the Huddleston one for 10. It's the only 2 covers. I didn't like all the other covers for that issue, but man, what a good series. It's just, why did it take Marvel so long to put out, well, you know, I've talked about that already. I still think that was part of their bargaining with Fox, but wow, what a disservice they've done to all the X-Men fans over the years, because wow, that is just, it's so good, and it's great that it's a weekly title, because every week you can pick up a copy and keep reading it. I also picked up my 3rd print of House of X number 1 and Powers of 10 number 1. I got all the printings of those so far. It's just a great series, so I had to get those. And the last one I got was Immortal Hulk number 23. I got the regular and the that cool wraparound. I don't like all these wraparounds they're doing. A lot, to be honest, a lot of them I don't like, but this one I did like. So the ones I like I picked, but whatever. And I want to talk about this because I don't know if everybody... I've got Immortal Hulk number 2 in the background here. Your first appearance of Del Fry, as you all know, and then he gets from there. He gets taken to the lab. They dig up his grave, and he's you know, in all these different issues, you kind of seen a glimpse of him in the stasis chamber. It's kind of in the background for issue. You never really find it. You just see him a glimpse here and a glimpse there. These different issues, but in this one, I don't know if you noticed this. But so the you know, the Hulk's fighting the new Abomination and everything, and then Rick, Harpy, and Jackie, they all go into the lab where Dr. McGowan is, and of course you've got Del Fry in a stasis chamber right there. You got a big close-up of him, and then on this page you've got all these images, and they're talking about him, and so all of a sudden he's very prominent. And then that's all you got really of him in this issue. And then it ends and it says Face of the Enemy. And I want to read the solicitation for number 24 because it says, as the war with Shadow Base comes to a brutal, bloody end, Bruce Banner has a choice to make. And the repercussions of that choice will have an effect on every single life on this planet, including the Immortal Hulk. So that's all you get. But I don't know if you haven't been reading this gammagrams at the back, I suggest you do, because the last, this is from Al Ewing, right at the last here, and the one thing he says in here, because the guy asked him a question and he can't answer a bunch of it, and he goes, and we'll leave it there for now. Next issue, our Act 2 comes to a close with a final confrontation between Hulk and General Fordian, which would you'd expect. And it says, with Rick, Betty, and Jackie making some moves in the background that will lead to major changes for this book and Marvel Earth as a whole. So, oh yeah, sorry, and then it goes, meanwhile, at the end of time, an aged Bruce Banner confronts, and then that's all you hear, right? So, the interesting thing is, what are Rick, Betty, and Jackie doing in this issue in the background while they're dealing with Dr. McGowan and Del Fry? So it's very likely in the next 24 or 25, you're going to have Del Fry either, I think he's going to merge with the Hulk, and the Hulk is going to take on his powers as well, and he's going to become, because something's coming. I don't know what it is, but I think Del Fry has a big part of it. So it's either him or Jackie McGee is going to merge with the Hulk and become a different Immortal. Because I'm going to put an image of 26 on the screen, and if you look at 26, I'm going to read the solicitation first. It says he's got an underground fortress. He has powerful allies. He's even got henchmen. He's got everything he needs to declare war on human society as we know it. He's the most dangerous man in the world, and Bruce Banner's just getting started. So you've got Bruce. I'm going to the image on the screen. You see Bruce Banner sitting in kind of like a throne. Oops, banging the camera there. You've got Harpy. You've got Rick. You've got Joe. You've got Dr. McGowan, who's looking down and all kind of almost like she's sorry. But why is Dr. McGowan part of his henchmen? Does Dr. McGowan merge with Del Fry? I don't know. You got Doc Samson, and you got a couple versions of the Hulk in the background there. So, and you're probably wondering, why have I got Secret Wars number 7? Well, that's your first appearance of the World Breakers, which is basically the henchman of the Maestro. So it has Bruce Banner. Is he going to become the Maestro because at the end of time, the Maestro is in charge of the only kind of society left on Earth, and that's from Incredible Hulk Future Imperfect number 1 and number 2. It's kind of a two-part miniseries from '92. Issue number 2 has the first appearance of the Maestro. I'll put those on the screen so you see those as well. It's been a while since I've talked to you spec about Immortal Hulk, but it's and you got to remember that Al Ewing, he'll take characters from the past. He kind of twists them a bit, so they're not technically the same character, but they are good to have. This Secret Wars by Hickman is, talking about Hickman and Powers of X and Powers of 10, House of X. This whole Secret Wars from 2015 is a really good one to get. It's a 9-part miniseries, and there's talk that this may actually be used in conjunction with the old Secret Wars for movies coming down the road, so it's a really good one to get. But it is the first appearance of World Breakers in that number 7. And I don't know if these henchmen they're talking about for 26 are basically a new version of the World Breakers, because that wouldn't surprise me at all. And if you look at the image of 26, everybody's kind of looking off page except for Dr. McGowan. So I'm almost wondering if Jackie McGee has got merged with Del Fry or got some powers or something, because at the beginning of this 23, it's all about her with her dad and the house getting smashed by the Hulk. And if you remember when they go to hell, she asks, how do you get the powers of the Hulk and everything? So something's coming with her too. So anyways, just some talk about the Hulk there, because I found that really interesting how if you read at the back of this, you get a little more than what you find in the solicitation. And it sounds like what Rick, Betty, and Harpy are doing in the background is going to have some ramifications, and they're dealing with Dr. McGowan and Del Fry. So we'll see where it goes, but it looks pretty cool. So I had to throw that out there. Anyways, and then the other book I got is X-Men 191. As you all know, that's your first appearance in Nimrod, so that's a good. It's pretty cheap actually. That's a really cheap book, easy to find. It's from the 90s, so, or is it 84? When the hell did that come out? I wrote it on the back here. Was it 84? 85, yeah. So it's you should be able to find them in decent shape. People were bagging and boarding them, so anyways, but all three of those are good books to get, as you all know. Anyways, we'll get into I had to talk about that Immortal Hulk up front, because normally I leave that stuff for the end, but I just, I wanted to talk about it, because it's kind of cool. There's just so much stuff coming with that. I don't know where it's going, but there's something big coming, so stick with it. If you stop buying Immortal Hulk, I'd highly recommend you get that back on your pull list. So from Alterna, get a look at what I'm looking at this week coming up. From Alterna, you got Red Koi #1. That's a cool looking cover. It's kind of a samurai fantasy creature story, and for $1.50 you can't go wrong. So I'm definitely picking that one up. From Boom Studios, these are a couple books. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them, because they're the way they're doing their second, third, fourth prints and stuff. The shops have almost no time to order, and if you aren't on it right away, chances are you aren't going to get it, and then they start allocating. So anyways, but Something's Killing the Children #1 second print is out this coming week, and then Once and Future #1 fourth print is out this week. I really like the cover on that fourth print, or Once and Future #1. That is a beautiful cover. All the covers have been nice for that, actually. So that's it from Boom, but if you see those, I'd recommend you pick those up, because they look really, those are good titles. Pandemica #1 from IDW. Jonathan Mayberry's the writer on that. He did V-Wars and Black Panther, Do More and stuff, so he's written some good comics. I'm not 100% sure I really get that cover. You got a lady with nothing on, and then you got a kid with a full radiation suit and mask and everything. So what, the kid's gonna survive while she dies? I don't know. Anyways, but cover, it looks like, it sounds like a cool story. So I'm definitely gonna pick that one up. From Image, I got 2 titles from them. Reaver #3, just the one cover. It's been pretty good so far, so I'm going to keep going with that. I usually go 3 or 4 issues, and if I at that point I may drop it, but we'll see how this one is. So it's pretty good. And Thumbs #4, just the one cover, that is out this week from Image as well. Those are the only 2 I'm looking at from Image. And from Scout, my last independent I'm getting is Midnight Sky #1. 3 covers for this one. Cover A and cover B are regular price, and I believe cover C is an incentive. I believe it's a 1 for 10. So some shops may get that one, because 10 copies isn't a huge number. So that might be a good one to get this week. And that's one that on Free Comic Book Day I mentioned there was, you got your first kind of glimpse of this story in that Free Comic Book Day, which will lead into this. So I hope you got that Midnight Sky from Scout on Free Comic Book Day. That's a good one to get. And this looks like a good one too, this #1. That's it from Independence. From DC, I only got a few. Man, DC's not putting out a ton that I'm really into right now. You got Batman 78. I'm going to keep going with it. Tom King looks like he's putting an effort into the story, and it's been pretty good since 75. I recommended picking that up from 75 onward. 2 covers for Batman. I really like cover A. I'm not a big fan of cover B. I'll just be getting cover A. There is a second print of 77 out this week. So if that's something you're interested in, try to pick. That's Alfred, where Alfred gets killed, obviously, in that one, if you remember. Batman and the Outsiders #5. I'm on the fence with this one. The first couple issues were really good, and then it's kind of wandered off, and I don't know. I'll probably pick one up just to read it, but we'll see where it goes. I like Brian Hill's writing, so hopefully he gets that back on track. Gotham City Monsters #1. This looks pretty cool. It's only a 6-part miniseries. There's 2 covers for this. I like cover A a lot. Looks really good. Cover B is so-so, so I'm just going to grab cover A. And then Justice League Odyssey #13. 2 covers for that one, and a really nice cover B by Perillo. That's a pretty good. I know there's a lot of Perillo fans out there, so you got a regular price Perillo cover. It looks pretty good. So that's it from DC. From Marvel, got a couple of Absolute Carnage tie-ins, and I'm just going to mention, I know I'll mention it again when I get to Venom. There's a lot of hype about Venom this week, and it's a good one to have on your pull list, don't get me wrong. But Donny Cates, before this series drops, said make sure you get the tie-ins. Because I really think what's going to happen is, I think they're teasing us with this whole Sleeper merging with Dylan in #18, and it's going to happen in one of the tie-ins. and it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. So just pay attention to the tie. I'm not saying it's going to, but make sure if you don't want to buy the tie-ins, at least flip through them at your store before you walk out of there, because you may regret it if you don't. But anyways, we got Symbiote of Vengeance, #1 is out this week. That looks really good. I'm definitely going to get that. The interesting thing of this one is you got, they've been doing this, you got the cover A regular price, then you got a 1 for $25, a 1 for $50, and then a 1 for $100. So it kind of interesting that they're doing that ratio for that, but I guess they're trying to get shops to order lots of the regular cover, and yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But anyways, you got Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool #2, 3 covers for that one. And like I said before this started, I'm getting every tie-in, just cover A. I'm not going crazy with all the variants and everything, but cover A for me. And I've said a lot of times, if you're going to buy just one cover, get cover A. That is always long-term. I don't sell books, but I know a lot of people do, and that's fine. If you sell them, hey, great, whatever. But if you're going to do it, cover A usually is the best one to get, unless, of course, you have a major appearance, and a 1 for $25 can be good, but that's got to roll the dice on those sometimes. Captain Marvel #10 is out this week. Only the one cover, cover A. Kind of interesting, Mark Brooks cover, and we'll see what happens. In this one, I'm definitely grabbing that one. Daredevil #11. I've been really liking this series all the way along. I've said it every time it comes out. It's really good. Hopefully we find out a little more about Cole North and that Leonard kid that showed up. So there's 2 covers for that one. Your regular cover A, and then one of those Immortal wraparounds. I like this one. Man, so many of these are not good, but this one looks cool because it's kind of the 4 different faces of not the typical stretching across to the other face. But you got 4 versions of Daredevil. I like that cover. It looks really good. Got King Thor #1 out this week. This looks pretty good as well. You got 4 covers. You got your regular cover, Ribbage cover, which is really nice. Cover B, I'm not such a big fan of. Cover C is a really nice Zaffino cover. That's a 1 for $25. And then there's a 1 for $50, which is, yeah, so-so. But that 1 for $25 looks really nice. I know my buddy Justice for Comics, he'll be most likely getting that one. He loves Zaffino, so that's a nice looking cover. Miles Morales #10, another big one this week. This is the 250th issue, and it looks like you're going to get evil Miles showing up as Ultimatum. Whether or not that actually happens, that's what's been the information I got. 4 covers for that one, so choose what you want. I'm just going with cover A, but like I say, if you want the other ones, you go for it. It's your collection. Powers of 10 #4. Man, I don't know what to tell you about that. This series is so good. It is, man, this is what X-Men should have been forever. I mean, it reminds me of Claremont when I've had a few people say that, man, Jim, this reminds me of when Claremont was writing the X-Men. Yeah, it does. It's just really well written. The artwork is good. It's a great story. Ton of covers for this one, again, as there usually is, so you get what you want. All I can say is I hate those stupid Marvel action figure covers. I say it every week. And it's funny, last week I went to my shop. I didn't get in there. I was late getting in just because of work and everything. I couldn't get in for a couple of days. There was one book left on the table. Guess which one it was? Yeah, the Marvel action figure. I laughed. I said, even though it's a hot book, nobody wanted it. That's funny. Anyway, so that is out. Powers of 10 #4 is out. Just really good. Such a good series. If you haven't got that all the way through, boy, you're missing out. That's an old boy series. Not only is it has some old boy covers, that is an old boy series. I noticed that Nick's starting to copy my old boy stuff. I gotta start getting royalties from him on something. Anyways, Silver Surfer Black #4, another good one. I know some people don't like the art, but wow, this is a really good series. And the last issue, don't forget, you basically saw baby Galactus inside Ego, the living planet. And I kind of think and I said in my last video, I think when Silver Surfer created that light on the planet in the first issue, that was the birth of Galactus. And it's funny, it's kind of a twist that I could totally see Donny Cates doing, having Silver Surfer, who's technically the second Herald of Galactus, because the Fallen one was the first one. But the Herald of Galactus actually going back in time through the black hole and creating Galactus. Wouldn't that kind of be a interesting little twist on things? But 4 covers for this one. You get what you want. There is a 1 for $25 with Noel on the cover. I do like that one. I'm hopefully going to get that one, but we'll see what happens. It's just such a good series. And then, of course, Venom number 18, another key book. And oh, man, Venom has just been so... I've been said it all along. If you aren't buying Venom, you shouldn't be collecting comics. And I really mean that. It is a great series. Donny Cates has been killing it. I know with that War of the Realms, it kind of took a little bit of a slowdown there, but there's been good stuff happen all the way through this series. And in the previews, I'm going to put the image on the screen that you see. The last image to give you in previews is it looks like the Sleeper's about to merge with Dylan, but like I say, don't be surprised if they're throwing a little twist in there, trying to get you all hyped up about this one, and he doesn't merge with the Sleeper, and he becomes something else in either this issue or one of the tie-ins or next Venom 19, or who knows. But either way, it's going to be a great one to get. That's all I can say. But don't forget about the tie-ins. That's all I can say, because like I say, Donny Cates said, get the tie-ins, and so like I say, make sure you flip through them before you leave the store. You don't want to be missing out. So that's it for my books this week. Boy, what a time to be collecting. I keep saying that, but there's just so much good stuff. So for my covers this week, I got Once and Future One, the 4th print. I really like this is a great series. Boom is putting out some good stuff right now, and that is a gorgeous art. It's just, they're really tough to find. So if you come across that, man, pick it up. Justice League Odyssey number 13, cover B. You got that Perillo cover. It's a really nice cover, and you get it at cover price. So if you're a big Perillo fan, that's a nice one to get. Catwoman 15, cover B, Art Germ. What can I say about him? He does great stuff. That's a nice cover. And then King Thor number 1, cover C, the Zaffino cover. That's a 1 for $25, so you'd have to pay a bit for that one, but it is nice if you're a Zaffino fan. So my picks this week, I got a few of them. Midnight Sky number 1 from Scout. That looks really good. Miles Morales number 10. It's a 250th issue, and it looks like we're going to get Evil Miles showing up in there, so that is a good one to get. Powers of 10 number 4. I don't think I need to tell you about that. It is just a great series. This is a classic series that years from now, I mean, I've been collecting a long time, and it's just got the feel of the early X-Men run where you know people are going to be after this for years, so get it. That's all I can say. Silver Surfer Black number 4. Looks like we're going to find out more about that baby Galactus and how he's created and all that else. And like I say, I kind of think it's Silver Surfer. It's going to be the twist. Will actually be the one that created Galactus, so that'd be kind of cool. Venom number 18. I don't think I need to tell you. There's a ton of hype about this one, but anyways, Venom number 18. What can I say? Get it. A couple honorable mentions, which you're gonna, and again, Absolute Carnage. You got the 2 tie-ins, Symbiote of Vengeance and Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool. Those are both out this week, so I'm not saying buy them, but at least flip through them and check them out, because you never know what's coming in those. Something is Killing the Children number 1 second print is out this week if you can find it. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, Once and Future One number 1, the 4th print is out. Tough to find, but if you can get it, that'd be a good one to get. So I just want to close on this. I was watching Comic Tom the other day, and he pulled out, as you know, She-Hulk is really heated up. And man, I bought these off the shelf back in '89, and they've sat in my comic box for, well, 30 years now. Is it 30 years? Yeah, 30 years. Shit, those are 30 years old. And never, they've been basically a dollar book for 30 years. But now that, their Disney Plus is putting out the show, all of a sudden these ones are heating up too. So it's a nice looking cover too, but never ever thought that would go anywhere. It was a number 1. I bought it back in the day, and even back then, yep, I was buying multiple copies. Always have, always will. I know some people don't get it. Well, Jim, why are you buying multiple copies? You must be flipping books. No, sorry, I don't sell books. I've said it a million times. And I want to end on this. If anybody ever comes across anybody claiming to be me selling books, let me know and I'll call them out, because that's absolute bullshit. I don't sell books. I know somebody claimed to be a key collector selling mail call stuff a while back, and that was BS too. So just be careful, and let me know, anybody. If somebody out there is claiming to be me selling books, right off the bat, you know what's a scam, because it ain't me. I don't sell books. Anyways, want to end on that. Take care, everyone. Happy hunt. It's going to be a great week this week. Get your wallets ready. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Talk to you later in the week.